Welcome to the 8th module. In this module, we are going to talk about CRM and the follow-up system setup. Now, specifically, we'll be talking about what is a CRM, why should we use one, which is the CRM that we use, and how exactly to use it. And in between, we are also going to talk about what exactly like is a follow-up system. I've included this as a part of some of the pointers that we are going to cover in the CRM. And so without wasting any time, let's dive deep into it. Now, just one quick disclaimer before starting this video. It does not matter which CRM you use. Okay, so I'm not here to promote you any type of CRM. I'm not saying that, hey, this CRM is better than that CRM, or this is good, or this is bad. It really does not matter. What matters is like you have one. Okay, it is good. Okay, it is good or okay if you have a free CRM. It does not matter if you are using a free CRM. The only thing is like you should have one, because as you are going to go past 100 plus leads. Okay, so once you generate 100 plus leads, that is the matter, that is the moment in which, you won't understand what stage your lead number 1 was at, lead number 2 was at. And if you run campaigns for 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months down the line, then you will understand that someone whom you talk to in the month number 2 is getting converted in month number 4, or someone who you talk to in the month number 3 is getting converted in month number 4. So you will see really interesting data about your own business. Okay, so that is the reason why I will highly recommend that you have a CRM in your business. It does not matter which one you have. Again, repeating myself, it is important that you have like a CRM in your business. That's it. So now let us talk about what exactly is CRM. So CRM stands for customer relationship management. And what exactly is significance of this is because each customer is in a different stage and needs attention accordingly, right? For example, someone who has just submitted a lead is at a different stage in the buying journey as compared to someone for whom you have actually submitted a proposal to, right? So that is like at a different stage in the buying journey. So each of these people, let's say here is Aditya who has just submitted a lead, and here is Rahul who for whom you have just submitted your proposal to. So essentially Aditya requires different type of attention because I'm like a fresh lead, and Rahul requires different type of attention as well as communication because Rahul is the person for whom you have already submitted the proposal to. And in between these two, you need to understand this is where your follow-up system would come into picture. Okay, I hope you understand what a CRM is now. Now don't worry if you have never heard of CRM or never used before, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the CRM that we are using, and any CRM that you'll be using in market, you will have similar functionalities in all of them. Second thing is, why exactly do we use a CRM? Now I've already told you about this, but I will repeat myself again. The first thing is we want to make sure the tracking and sales are very clear and very easier. Let's say once you generate 100 leads, you want to make sure out of 100, how many proposals you submitted to these 100 leads, and what is how many people got converted from these 100 leads. So you want to make sure all this data is tracked very easily. Second thing is you don't want to have any confusion once the number of lead increases. So for example, let's say someone told you hey, please call me back on Friday at 2 p.m. Now if you don't have a CRM, maybe you may miss this thing, or your caller may miss this thing, or your salesperson may miss this thing, and ultimately you would lose opportunities. To make sure there is no confusion once there is a lot of data, we need to make sure we have a CRM. The last thing is, once we have the CRM, it is very easy to understand the feedback about the advertising campaign. Now what I mean by that is, let's say you generated leads for your campaign, and let's say out of 100 leads, 80 of these leads are junk leads, or 80 of these leads are low quality leads, or they are not verified, or they are not qualified leads, right? In that case, you can clearly tell the feedback to the advertising system, hey, whatever you are doing in the front end, that is creating all the bad results in the back end. So this way, if you can provide like clear feedback from like whatever advertising system is generating, then it becomes easier to like rectify the advertising system as well. So the advantages of using CRM is like, you can clearly send a feedback to the advertising campaign about what is happening. Now let me talk to you about CRM that we use. So CRM that we use is called as Go High Level. Now you can just do a Google search about Go High Level and what kind of things or functionalities it has. And if you go with it, then that is good. But if you don't go with it and have like a different CRM, that is okay altogether. It does not matter which CRM you use. Okay, now let me show you the CRM we are using and the two most important things in the CRM. First is the pipeline, which is the most important part, and second is like management of the CRM. So there should be a person who should be responsible for managing the CRM. Ideally this person should be your salesperson, because the salesperson is the one who's going to call the leads. The salesperson is going to one who's going to do the site visits and all those things. So ideally salesperson is the one who should be managing the CRM. So first is like the pipeline, you have to create your pipeline, and second is management. So let me talk a little bit about pipeline. So what does like the word pipeline mean? So the pipeline in short means stages, right? What are the stages in which the customer comes into your business and becomes a customer? So for example, first someone becomes a lead and in the end he becomes a customer. So whatever stages that are there in between, these stages we call them as pipeline. Okay, now let me just go in and show you our pipeline, and I will talk to you about how we are doing things. First thing is we have like appointment booked. So whenever any person comes in and he books an appointment, this is where we have the stage of appointment booked. Second is our caller calls the person and makes sure it's like he's qualified as well as verified. Then we move him to call confirmed. So let's say we call that particular person and he picks up and says the phone that, hey, yes, I'm interested in services, and he can afford our services. Then we can put him to call confirmed. Let's say if the person is someone who on the call we feel like, hey, this is not like a qualified person to talk with us. In that particular case, we just move him directly to disqualified. After the call, if you think like, hey, he's not a good fit, we directly move him to disqualified. That's it. Then let's say we call that person, okay, and he does not pick up. In that case, we send him like a WhatsApp message for confirmation and we move him to this particular stage. Let's say there is Aditya, and Aditya just booked an appointment with my business, and our caller called Aditya and he just told like, hey, I'm interested, and he told like, hey, I'm really interested, I have the budget and everything. Then he will move into the call confirmed stage. But let's say there is another person who is Rahul, and Rahul just booked an appointment, but our caller called Rahul and he did not pick up the call. Then what we will do is like, we'll send him like a WhatsApp message that, hey, you have booked an appointment, our caller tried calling you, and then we'll move him to this particular stage. And it is very, very, very important to segregate leads into different stages. So that will ultimately help you to give you the quality of the advertising campaign, like this particular feedback over here. Then let's say whenever like we have an appointment and like we give our prices to the person, we have the sales call, and if the person says like, hey, I'll make a decision tomorrow, or let's say I'll tell you within the next 24 hours, or I'll tell you within the next 1 hour, or I'll tell you within the next 2 hours what I'm going to do, then we put him into round 2 call. So that is where our salesperson calls him for the second time and goes in and close the deal. Let's say we call a person and he tells us like, hey, I cannot talk in that particular time, and this person reschedules our appointment, then he goes into the reschedule stage. Now whenever there is any person who says like, hey, I don't remember that, I'm filling out this particular information, I don't know who you are calling and all those things, then we put them into junk lead. Now please understand, there is a difference between a junk lead and a disqualified lead. A disqualified means someone who cannot afford our services, and a junk lead is someone who says like, hey, does not remember filling out the form or any other type of things. Then whenever let's say there is a person who has booked an appointment, but for some reason it does not show up for the appointment, in that case we move him to no show. That is how our pipeline stage looks like. And let's say whenever there is a person who is on the sales call, he says like, hey, I want to get started, but not right now, maybe 10 days from now, 1 month from now, then move him to the connect later stage. That is the stage in which we move him to. Then let's say if there is some person who says like, hey, I need more information, or not right now, maybe 6 months down the line, I'm looking forward to this. Then we move him to the nurture stage. Then of course, whenever someone, when we close the deal with the person, we close him to the close stage, and one, we call that deal as one. And whenever someone is lost and we cannot close the deal, we give him like the comments as lost. Now the most important part is at each stages you can go in and write the comments. That is very, very, very important. So I can write comments around what things are going to be done on the round to call, comments about the rescheduled person. You can go in and write comments about why someone is disqualified. You can write comments about connect later. You can write comments about if you won the deal, then what is the reason or what are the good pointers. If you have lost the deal, you can write about, hey, why did you lose the deal, like what happened exactly, why were you not able to close the deal. You can write comments about everything. Now the best part about using or having the CRM is it becomes very easy for us to analyze the data. So in our case, we have generated 52 leads and we have gotten 4 conversions. That is what our data is. I understand that there are 4 conversions from the 52 appointments that we have booked. I know how many of them were junk. I know how many were of them disqualified. I know how many people have told me to connect later. So essentially, I know everything about these things. And this particular data, this particular thing is very, very important, because in the coming months, as you can see, the number of leads increases. You will understand the importance of this data, and you will know like someone who has connected with you, let's say on month 1, he is getting closed on month 3 or month 4. And once you have enough leads in your pipeline, then you'll make sure like you'll never fall short of the customers. And that is very, very important, and that is very, very crucial. Now with that being said, I am just going to talk about how to use an CRM. Okay, so essentially I'm just going to show you a simple tutorial about the CRM that we are using, but it does not matter which CRM you are using. Essentially I'm going to show you a tutorial about the CRM that we are using. Now it does not matter which CRM you are using, all of the CRMs will have the functionality. So as I mentioned, there are just 2 important things. One is pipeline creation. So you need to create the pipeline. Second is pipeline management. Okay, so what you need to do is like whatever CRM that you have into, just go into the pipeline section and click on create a new pipeline. Okay, and let us name this pipeline as interior design business pipeline. Let's keep the stages as lead. Then let's keep the stage as appointment confirmed. Then let us keep the stage as site visit done. Then let us keep the stage as proposal submitted. Then we'll keep the stage as closed/1 or closed/lost or something like connect later. Okay, so this is how we have created the pipeline. I'll just click on save. Let us go into opportunities. Now again, I'm repeating myself, it does not matter which CRM you are using. As long as you have a CRM, you will have a pipeline functionality, and then you will have a functionality for you will have a functionality to like manage this pipeline. Now for example, there is I'll just turn this off for a moment. Yeah, I'll create a new opportunity. Let us call this name as Aditya, and I'll call this name as, okay, let us fill this as, okay, I'll see if I find some demo data over here. Create a new contact. Okay, I'll just put in the name as addy@gmail.com. I'll write these things, just create it. Okay, so now we have created, let's say whenever any leads comes from Facebook, that will get added into this particular pipeline. So I mean the lead setup essentially. Okay, so the data from Facebook is directly going to get added to this particular pipeline. And there is like tech setup required for that, and maybe in another video I'll talk a little bit about how to do that tech setup as well. So now whenever, let's say, your caller calls the lead and talks about him, then you can move that particular deal from like lead to appointment confirmed. I mean, this person has told you like, hey, meet me at 26th of May, meet me at 4 p.m. at my house. That is done. Now once that is done, let's say you do the site visit, you have talked to him, you can talk to the customer and all those things. So you can move him to, let's say, site visit done. And after site visit, let's say you understand that you got busy into things, and let's say second day you understood that, hey, I have to send a proposal. All of the site visits, let's say there are 4 or 5 people, all of them you make a proposal for them, and then you submit the proposal. And once you have submitted the proposal, then you just go in and call the particular person and ask him like, hey, I have submitted the proposal, like, can you please tell me about what is going to happen, or can you please tell me about this, can you please tell me about that. So you just go in and go into the follow-up stages. Now once that is done, either the person would say a yes, so that is closed one, or the person clearly says like, no, I'm not interested, or whatever, the lead is lost. Or we say like, that person says that, hey, I want to do it, but maybe not right now, maybe a little later. So that means it will go to correct later stage or something like that. Now it does not matter what stage you are in, as long as these stages make sense to your business, you can create as many stages as you want. Now once this thing is clear, there would be like one person who is your salesperson, who is going to be in charge of managing this particular pipeline. So your salesperson is going to go in and manage the pipeline, change the stages, and do all the things accordingly. Now let us talk a little bit about the follow-up system. Okay, and what exactly is a follow-up system? Now to give you an example, let's say there is a person who has become a lead, right? Now as soon as a person becomes a lead, what we want to do is like, we want to make sure we call him, right? And if the person does not pick up the phone, let's say we send him an SMS or we send him a WhatsApp. So the WhatsApp or the SMS that we send come under the follow-up system, right? Let's say someone has confirmed an appointment for 26th of May 4 p.m, right? Then the message for appointment confirmation is sent to him on WhatsApp as well as SMS. Or a person can give him a call 24 hours before that. So let's say it's 25 May 4 p.m, you call the person and tell him that, hey, this is Aditya calling, and we have like our site visit tomorrow at 4 p.m. So that comes under the follow-up. Let's say whenever you have submitted a proposal, after submitting a proposal, all the calls, all the SMS, all the WhatsApp things that you do to the client, they all come under the follow-up system, right? Now if you don't have a proper system for follow-up, then things would get messy. I mean, you won't follow up with people properly, and then you wouldn't be able to close a lot of deals. So there are two ways in which you can do the follow-ups. One is like automated follow-ups, and second is like manual follow-ups. Okay, so what I recommend you is, in the initial stages, whenever you are not spending a lot of money into automations and tools, you can do all the manual follow-ups. Like you can just come into the pipeline, do the calls, do the SMS, do the WhatsApp messages, and all those things. So in the initial stages, you can do like the manual follow-ups. But once everything is done and you have closed some deals, you have some cash, then you can invest money into tools and make sure it's like the follow-up is also automated. And that is like the best way to approach follow-ups. Now, please understand the difference between like having an automated follow-up and having like a manual follow-up. In an automated follow-up, as soon as a person changes stage from pipeline, so let's say someone is changed from site visit done to proposal submitted, an SMS or email or WhatsApp would be sent automatically without you having to do anything. And in the manual stage, you are doing all those things manually. Now I hope like this makes a lot of sense, and with this we are like coming to an end to this particular module. Now let us do a quick recap around what we discussed in this particular module. We talked about CRM, about what exactly is a CRM, and we talked about why you should be using a CRM. We talked about the CRM that we are using, and I just gave you a quick overview about how to use a CRM. And yeah, that is particularly it from this module. Let us know if you have any questions, and see you in the next one.